My name is Usama Tariq. Today, the topic of my discussion is coastal reservoir. First of all, I'm going to explain the importance of my topic. Actually, the rise in population residing in coastal areas is among the several factors contributing to water scarcity, ultimately leading to enormous consequences. Moreover, the occurrence of extreme rainfall events in many locations is experiencing a notable increase due to destabilizing effects of climate. So, effective and sustainable management of natural resources is essential to mitigate the adverse impacts associated with inadequate management of precipitation. The primary objective of managing excess water are to mitigate economic losses and secondly, enhancing public safety, which is very important uh, in the face of floodwaters. Additionally, the process includes the conservation and rehabilitation of the ecological functions and valuable resources present in flood-prone areas with a particular focus on the coastal plains. Now, further moving on, I'm going to explain the literature view and its relevance towards my topic, towards my research question. So my research question is integrating floodwater development strategies for enhanced flood disaster mitigation in coastal regions. After reading the literature review in which Linter suggests the most viable approach for uh, capturing water is to make reservoirs, which can afterwards be utilized for various reasons such as household yards, parks, and other domestic industrial applications. Furthermore, Zhang identified Zuiderzee, a coastal reservoir in the Netherlands, which was constructed in 1932. He observed that during the particular area, individuals were primarily inhabited coastal regions and relied on access to water sources. This coastal reservoir provide the water, which was very healthy for the livelihoods. Uh, the further moving on, I'm going to explain the Chenhang Reservoir and Bayongang Reservoir serve as a notable illustration of a reservoir that supplies potable water for home consumption, specifically catering to the water needs of Shanghai. This is the picture of Bayongang and Chengang Reservoir. Uh, the main reservoir in the Singapore, the primary purpose of building the Mariana Bridge in Singapore was to serve as a tidal barrier for the flood management. This is the picture which is showing the Mariana Bridge. Now I'm going to explain my research design. First of all, the experimental design. In the experimental aspect of the study, laboratory experiments will be conducted to evaluate the efficiency of floodwater development strategies in mitigating flood disasters. This involves simulating flood scenarios and applying different floodwater development strategies. Here is the outline. First of all, control and experimental groupings. In the control group, simulated flood scenarios without any floodwater development strategies, and in experimental groups, simulated flood scenarios with various floodwater development strategies are implemented. Number of samples are depend on the number of floodwater development strategies being tested. Each group will involve multiple simulations to ensure stability. So I'm going to explain the procedure, simulating coastal flood scenarios, implement different floodwater development strategies, monitor floodwater levels, flood extent and flood damage, compare the outcomes of between the control and experimental groups. The most important part is statistical analysis. The NOVAT or t-test will be used to compare the outcomes of the control and experiment groups, evaluating the effectiveness of various floodwater development strategies in mitigating flood disasters. The other design is quasi experimental design. In the quasi experimental approach, observation data will be collected over time from various coastal regions. Here's how this design will work. First of all, in the data collection, we'll collect data from the coastal region with varying floodwater development strategies, gathering information on flood events, their severity, their effectiveness of strategies in mitigating flood disasters. How we can categorize the coastal regions? It is group coastal region into categories based on the type and extent of floodwater development. Consider factors like flood frequency, severity, and socioeconomic conditions. Statistical analysis. Regression models and statistical analysis will be employed to explore the relationship between the types of floodwater development strategies, the severity of flood disaster, and their effectiveness in mitigating the flood impacts. What are the strengths of the design? Comprehensive insights. It combines a control experimentation with real-world observation, providing a well-rounded perspective on flood disaster mitigation. The other one is external validity. The design explores the real-world scenarios and boosts external validity of the findings. What are the limitations? The limitation is resource intensive, like conducting control experiments and collecting observation data can be resource intensive. Causation versus correlation. The design can establish associations but may not provide causation between floodwater development strategies and floodwater disaster mitigation outcomes. Thank you.